I'm a bit too much, but I'm finding it. When I'm at the top, I just wanna play. If you are looking for one hell of a ride, just come and get it. Baby, I'm all yours. Come and get it, 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 come and get it. If you are looking for one hell of a ride, just come and get it. Baby, I'm all yours.
Does a bit of dancing in the backfield, gets free, then quickly delivers. Second option is there. Murphy Curran with the goal.
Men's quarterfinal, Rising High Tournament, Delft, Amsterdam. That's where we are. We are on pitch number 1, and UFO 1 is starting us off with the first score of the game. An easy flick hook and a 1 continuation into the end zone. That's how they like it. We are witnessing a game between the UFO 1, I just said that, they scored, and the Belgium Masters team preparing themselves for some excellent action that is happening in Lund this year in Sweden. And they are here to practice, they're here to enjoy, and they've made it far in this tournament. They've made it to the quarterfinal. John, do you want to tell us more about their journey?
Yeah, for UFO, they were in a group yesterday with Tribe, Frusport and Force Electro. They ended up second in the group, tied with Tribe, but because of the head-to-head, they ended up coming second. I believe Tribe may have lost their last game knowing that was the situation already. And for the Belgians, they lost 2 games, so they had to win their crossover. They were in a group with Ars Lundendi Open and Nightwings, 2 teams we saw yesterday. And first pass turnover here by the Belgians, who maybe might have expected a bit of a stronger start yesterday, but they're finding themselves in a tough spot here, 2-0 down straight away against this strong UFO team. UFO yesterday only losing 1 game by 1 point, so pretty good performances by them so far. The Belgians maybe using this more of as a development tournament, so maybe not so concerned about the results, but I don't think they're going to be wanting too many turns on first passes off pulls like they had in that one. So I think it was the first pass turn, and 2-0 down with potentially 0 throws completed is not a great start to your Monday morning, but again, they're a Masters team. I don't think they'll let it affect them too much. They'll have plenty of time to get it together.
We have spoken about the weather conditions yesterday. If it's only your first time tuning in to listen to us on the stream, yesterday was a bit of a disaster day in terms of weather conditions. It did affect some of these more elite teams a little less than the beginner and medium level ones, but I am sure that they are so happy to finally be on the pitch and not be too crazy or have to be too safe with their throwing choices because of the wind or rain that we have experienced yesterday. Belgian Masters now trying to stick to their strategy, and the game is immediately stopped with a pick call. I tried to collect their last names before the game, but honestly there's not a single person on that team that could really pronounce everyone's surname, so it is proven quite difficult with the Flemish, French, German combinations. Hey, here's a nice gainer to Renat, who gives the disc back to Soyer. What we can tell you is that the Belgian men's Masters team, have just received their jerseys. They're unpacking them on Saturday, Be Ultimate jerseys, so they're still nice and fresh looking. They'll be looking to add some mud to them before they actually put them to test at the Lund Championship. But here is a bit of a throwaway as the UFO defender catches that deep shot from Belgium. And they quickly try to move the other way. Horizontal setup. And that is Soye getting the thrown away disc back for Belgium, and now they have just a short field to go, so it would be a dirty hold, but a hold nonetheless for them. Gatineau picking up. And that's a quick forehand, a wonderful toe-in, and a score for Wonderland.
Yeah, nice toe in the line there to grab that one. I thought for a moment the defender was going to get his hands to it, but the throw nice and down the line, and knows his receiver is going to be able to keep that one in. So good to see the Belgians having a slightly better point this time than the previous two, and we're expecting this game to be. I'm expecting this game to be really competitive anyway. So if both teams have a good start, hopefully we'll get another close game here. Both these teams obviously played in really tough conditions yesterday, and now today the conditions are a bit more suited and probably a bit more what they would like to play in. So I would expect the throws to be pretty sharp also, given the situations both these teams had to deal with yesterday.
Thank you to everyone who is already turning into the stream. We've got definitely some UFO fans. Let us know who you're cheering for, who we should shout out to. If you've been enjoying the coverage, if you've been to this tournament, anything that is of your interest. UFO stick with their horizontal setup, working it from side to side while managing to gain some yardage. That is Gazbik with the deep shot. Two receivers underneath it. That's safe to say. That was a really, really well-weighted shot. Myers with the score for UFO.
Yeah, like you said, two players there wide open in the back corner. Not the easiest throw. Yesterday that throw would have been almost nearly impossible, but today puts it right into the space where it needs to go. Really nice around flick. Made it look very easy. Not actually a super easy throw to get it into that tiny little space, but Force Electro looking sharp, and after the last point, Belgians got some passes together now. So like we said, it might be 3-1, but hopefully we're going to have a nice close game here, as both these teams obviously very capable. We've seen UFO strong start, and like we said, the Belgian Masters team, plenty of experience here. They're not going to panic, or they're not going to have trouble dealing with any different situations they face. And obviously as a Masters team, they're probably used to facing a slightly younger and potentially faster team, so they're going to be used to these situations.
So here's the UFO D-line. I don't know if we have stressed enough that this is the first UFO team. They have registered 2 for this tournament. And it is the first one that is playing in this men's quarters. UFO get the D on the slightly errant inside channel forehand, and they quickly move the other way, looking to attack the end zone. Swinging the disc quickly, Emmerich. Oh, and that's a score and another break for UFO. As we hear them sort of booing their cheer.
Yeah, very high energy level cheers there. I think they're just happy to get the job done. Yeah. And like I was saying, I think the Belgian teams, given they're a Masters team, I think if you're a neutral and you saw the Masters team coming out and taking the lead, you would be pretty worried that this game could get very one-sided quickly. I realize it's 4-1 now, and maybe it's starting to look potentially a bit one-sided, but like I've said, Masters teams, they obviously have plenty of experience in their roster, so it's better for this situation to be occurring than the other way around for a neutral watching, as it gives us a chance to see what adjustments this Masters team can make to try and slow down the pretty explosive start by the UFO team that is really just, I'm not sure if they even had a turnover yet, actually potentially one, but they've been pretty clinical so far, and Masters team going to have to start to show their experience now and find out a way to slow them down. but also just to find a way to make sure that they're doing a little better on their offense, because maybe they'll be able to get the turns, but unless you're playing good offense and getting your throws down, it's not going to make much difference.
Now that's a good hanging pull. It looks like it's going to land almost in the opposing end zone, but is handled and caught nicely by the Belgian Masters. Komans puts up a deep shot. It is gonna be a bit too far for Renard. A nice look regardless. And another chance for UFO to continue on the choo-choo break train. They swing it across to the far sideline and continue it up with a deep shot into the end zone, and that one is a little too far, but nonetheless, good effort by the intended receiver.
Yeah, throw looked good. I'm not entirely sure if potentially the receiver maybe took a slightly incorrect line at the start, or else maybe it was just too far in front. I thought at first he was going to get there, and then I wasn't sure, and then he just slightly out of reach. But again, this UFO team looking pretty sharp with the throws. That one was, again, very close to being a really nice, effective score, but gives the Belgians another chance and see if they can get it done this time.
They're a little bit stuck in the own end zone, but nice handler work has gotten them out of the first pickle. As we see a bit of poaching from UFO. And it pays dividends as they have the last third of the field and they connect immediately for another break, going up 5-1.
Yeah, UFO not slowing down at all, and the Belgians not taking a timeout or looking to make too many noticeable adjustments yet. I think with the Belgians, it looks like they're kind of struggling a little bit maybe with their systems. I'm obviously not entirely sure what their systems are, but it seems like a lot of their resets seem happy to perhaps just look for a way to complete a reset. And I always like to think of a reset should be the first part of your two-step reset, which is first you get the disc to someone, but the second part is you want it to be someone who's in an advantageous position. And I think some of their resets maybe lacking a bit of that attacking energy, putting the defense in tough spots. They seem to almost be happy to just look to take what the UFO team is getting them. And downfield, I think on that last point anyway, I saw a couple of players making pretty good strong cuts, losing their defenders, but then the space just wasn't there. Someone else was already in the space. So again,
I think the poaches were making the Belgians struggle a bit. There was always somebody in the open side and taking away the undercuts, and there was always somebody in the deep space taking away the deep shots. So they will have to probably involve a few more players on the field in order to break through that.
Yeah, well, you'd hope it was a Masters team anyway. That's something they'll be able to find a solution to pretty quick. I can't imagine this is the first time they've been facing teams that poach.
Poach defense, yeah. Tarrant picks up for Belgian Masters. Going through the break side is also always the solution. Emmerich finds Demusso, centering to Hansis. Modioko now finds the upline. Lefty handler, always an advantage. We're back with Tarrant. Happy to lose some meters. Dumping and swinging, and that's a nice inside channel throw. Sliding catch from Datif. And it pays off with a quick continuation into the end zone, and the Belgians finally add another one to the scoreboard.
Yeah, much better looking that time. Even on the on the dumps. It looked like they were working a little bit harder to lose their defender. One of the resets in particular, 2 or 3 times just losing his defender and making it look somewhat easy, using that experience and that extra wisdom he probably has, and a couple of the breaks to start the point, like you said. And I think that was a little bit more obviously comfortable and more what we would come to expect from Belgian national team. I can't recall having seen too many familiar faces, I myself, in the Masters age bracket now, but I don't recognise too many of these players, so hard for me to know how much experience is out there, but I would imagine there's plenty.
In any case, this line did a good job. The coach at least thought so. They're going to go on one more time and try their luck on defense. UFO immediately have a completely free player down in the end zone. Luckily for the Belgians, the shot is not taken. But now they continue down this near sideline. Centering the disc and a no-look backhand for the sliding catch in the end zone. And that was pretty impressive. Even I wasn't sure if the receiver was going to get there on time.
Yeah, he did a nice job getting to that one. And UFO, again, just not really looking like slowing down. Just bang, 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 getting the job done on all these points. And it's going to take something special, I think, for this Belgian team at this stage to slow them down. I thought maybe with the first 1 or 2 points they were just figuring some stuff out. But I think they have a good idea what they're up against in this UFO team now. And I'm not sure if they're going to be able to give it too many answers. One thing with the Belgian roster, it does seem like they have maybe potentially just about 2 lines worth of players here, so perhaps maybe they're maybe their entire roster isn't entirely here, or maybe they're splitting it for this event and maybe keeping some players away. So probably should have done my research in advance and asked if maybe it was potentially a D-line group here, but maybe it's the entire team. So it's potentially just seems a slightly shorter looking roster than I would expect from most national teams, although maybe they've just decided that they'd rather make sure their master teams, everyone gets a load of players. Alright, so one of their players is letting us know that 8 of their players aren't there, and I was almost tempted to say, is this the D-line, but I think they might take that as an insult. So it isn't meant to be, but that would be something some teams often do, would be send a D-line to a tournament. So
here they are one more time, struggling to find some in-cuts, but they do reset the stall count eventually. Soye working with Komans in the handler space. We see that the throws are nice, but the decisions are difficult, so to speak. Now they get it moving. Continuation there. Good catch under pressure. Lacon gets the disc off the sideline. Gatineau strikes immediately. Now they move towards the break side. Komans. Once again waiting for the spaces to clear up. He goes to the break side. That's a high disc. Brought down. It is Belgium still in possession. Now they're in the middle in front of the end zone. They will go for the inside channel, and a hand block will deny that last pass. And Den Breyen puts up a deep shot, and it hangs so nicely and is collected immediately. Continuation into the end zone. There is no stopping them. A quick response, and UFO increased their lead to 7-2.
Yeah, I think as much as I'd be frustrated if I was the Belgian team there, I think that's been the 2 best passages of offensive play we've maybe seen in this game, and it's came in the same point by the 2 different teams. The Belgian team finally started to look like a national team there, and an O-line. And that point it looked very good just up until the end zone when he went for the break, and obviously a really good block by the defender on the force, but it really looked like the Belgians were starting to play there. That's the first time they've looked like really threatening in all areas, and that it looked like UFO Obviously, maybe a slight speed advantage on UFO, but the throws by the Belgians a lot better in that point. But then, just that initial hook off the UFO player deep was just perfect throw. It looked like it was almost really inside out. Backhand, it ended up flat, and it's just perfect for his receiver, and then the follow-up throw was really good. So 2 really good passages of offense there. A bit unfortunate the Belgians weren't able to get it to make this game a bit closer, but if they can have more points like that, I'm sure they'll get chances on defense if they keep this game going.
Here is the slightly more successful Belgian line for now. We've got Taran trying to get open in the damp space. He finally finds Pinkston. And the Belgians with a deep shot of their own. It is brought down right in front of the end zone. It could be a score. Oh, the defender jumps through it, but unable to get a touch on the disc. And that is an excellent squeeze. Emmerich with the score for the Belgians. And they finally get a chance to get loud on the sidelines as well, practice their cheers. And they increase their scoreline to 3.
Yeah, nice there again. Maybe didn't look as clean as the last one of their offensive passages of play, but they're not going to care if they're getting the scores. And again, good to see them getting that one slightly. I would say maybe the first time this weekend that feels like it's the slightly upwind end zone based on the way the last couple of hooks have floated to that space. So again, Belgium's going to get a chance to play some defense now, and let's see what they've tried to cook up over the last few points for this UFO line that just seems like it has the advantage in a lot of areas. But hopefully the defensive team can come out here, the Belgians, with a defense designed to slow it down now that they definitely know what they're up against, and that they have maybe a slight, very slight wind advantage helping them here on defense as well.
It is the men's quarterfinal. On the line is the spot for semis. UFO seem like they are just ready to march their way up the bracket. And they will put up another one of those deep shots. Oh, and this time the Belgians come down with it. Why would they walk it to the front line when they can just continue their attack straight away using this advantage? But now the UFO defense seems to have caught up, but a big wind-up for the backhand. They don't take it. Instead, they decide to work it slowly. Tarant. They stop being afraid of the poaches that are there but have missed so far, but an unfortunate drop. And once again, UFO will work the disc upwind at least through the first half of the field. We've pointed out this phenomenon before where the flags in the background, you can see them blowing in opposite directions. Layout bid, the disc secured in between the hands of the receiver, an upline cut. Big forehand into the wind. Is it going to be the defense? No, it is the offense this time. UFO score another point, but the Belgian Masters finally getting at least a turnover out of them. So a dirty hold, a hold nonetheless. UFO keep their separation.
Yeah, I was questioning the decision of going with red jersey, red pants there, but he made the grab look good, so he can get away with this combination. Like I said, the Belgians, good work on defense there to get the first turn in that point. A bit unlucky with their offense after, but again, like we said, they've started getting the turns. Their offense looks a bit better, and maybe just one of those things where they just started a bit slow at the start, and the game's looking a bit more even now. But I think the UFO team does look like they're going to be very tough to get back from this situation. So I think Belgians will probably, again, not worry too much about the individual results of this. I think they value some good footage a bit more. And yeah, that's halftime now, so quick little break.
Here we go.
This year, London Invite is bigger than ever, with 8 teams in the Open Division, 8 teams in the Women's Division, and for the first time, a full 8-team Mixed Division.
With 5 World Games teams, USA, Canada, Australia, Germany, France.
As well as the Tokai Super Team, it's sure to be the ultimate showcase of the best in the world.
More teams, more streams, more stars, more ultimate.
More excitement.
You're not going to want to miss London Invite 2025.
Always on the move?
You can keep up to date with ULTI.TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
So a little reminder of the past, most recent event. EBUCC just finished yesterday in Gdańsk. Lots of free games available online to watch on the ULTI.TV YouTube channel. Feel free to head over after you've finished our streams, watching our streams here from Rising High. We are in the Netherlands on pitch number 1 in Delft. UFO is facing off Belgian Masters team that is going to compete later this year. Oh, what a defensive grab by UFO. They've been doing it all game and they did it again. Now with a short field to work with, they have taken this game by storm and they don't seem to stop. They just want to go straight into the semis and they are ready to do this quick. Another high grab just in front of the end zone, and that's another score for UFO, storming into the second half of this game, increasing their lead to 9-3.
Yeah, just really intense pressure there around the disc on the Belgians. Very hard for them to get anything going. I'm probably going to butcher his name, but number 16 for I thought it was number 16 for UFO. I don't see the 16 on our roster, but some really nice ups by him there. So really impressive grabs, making some of those high grabs look very easy. We could give him a shout out, except we don't see his number on the roster. Number
Aaron Moassen. Getting a little bit of help from the sideline.
We're in the incorrect number, so.
It seems like all of them are. I haven't been saying too many names for the UFO, so I apologize to the fans. But we know you recognize your favorites. We can tell you are there in the chat and watching. We appreciate you. We appreciate you using the chat as well. Expressing your love for the players in red. Let's see if there's anyone from Belgium tuning in, maybe from a break at work. Daran. To Lako. Vatala back to Lako. And it looks like, and an unfortunate drop gives the disc once again to the hands of UFO. And a low release backhand into the end zone for another score and another break. And the second half seems to favor the red jerseys just as much as the first half, as they are entering the double digits and moving quickly towards the last part of the game.
Yeah, really almost a bit unsure how this UFO team lost yesterday. I know they were in a group with Tribe. We saw Tribe on the stream, and I know Tribe somewhat well. I'm just seeing them play here in these conditions. I can just imagine that it must just be a case that they aren't able to play in the wind, because I think in terms of the throws I've seen, they've looked like the best team this weekend. And I realize it's a Monday morning and we have no wind today, so everyone's going to look a bit better. But they are playing against a Masters national team here, and they're making it look very easy. So I would say this might be your favourites for the title contenders, despite losing a game in the pool stages yesterday. If they can bring this kind of form into the next two games, both sides of the disc, offense and defense, they just look like they've got it all at the moment. It's been really impressive. So if this is anything close to the future games we get in the Open Division for the rest of the day, we'll have some good games.
Well, we did not, maybe we failed to mention that this is the high division of the tournament. So sort of the quarterfinals of the upper teams, so to speak. We also have the rising division. We will still have games from that one. Oh, and a lefty forehand. Will it make its way back into the end zone? No, it won't. It lands out of bounds. Plus, defender makes sure that there is absolutely no way for the disc to come back by catching it out of bounds as well. And he walks it to the line. And UFO immediately moved the other way. That's a difficult catch, but disc handled well. Still defenders failing to catch up. Can they make it all the way to the end zone once again? That's a third score for that person, who, whatever their name is. But
13, yeah.
is that Aaron again? Oh, Aaron Mossen. He is smiling to the camera, and he is having a great time out there. And what you're hearing in the background is the 30-minute jingle. So before we reached the time half of the game, UFO are already 8 points up over the Belgian Masters. So we will need some fans in the chat to help us out, cheer them on, and make this game last a little longer.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to a fellow fast person. I don't think fast people who can run discs down like that get enough credit for the grabs they make. Mortals have to lay out and get their highlight reels there, but that was so fast. That looked so fast from here. And if that was 2 or 3 steps more in front of him, he makes a layout to grab it, and everyone's going absolutely crazy. But that was just really impressive speed. I don't care if you're saying, oh, it just looks fast because they're playing mass. That was fast. That's one of the fastest bits of speed we've seen this weekend, and he's had the jumps. So
maybe we can ask him to be the godfather of our son, because he has the same name.
yeah.
And he's fast, so
Yeah.
we'll take that.
We'll take speed.
All right, one more chance for the Belgian experience. They are working hard to make this work. Going through the break side, they've got a person striking deep. They don't take the deep shot. Instead, they're a little stuck on the far sideline. They do get it off eventually. No continuation, and the defender was just baiting that, waiting for that disc smacked back to the ground. And UFO jumping on the break train. The continuation is there, and that's a score for them once again. I think that was Van Rossum with the score.
Yeah, again, I almost just feel like I'm a broken record at this stage. This is really impressive by this UFO team. They get it. I think maybe they've had 2 turnovers this game. I'm not sure, maybe 2 or 3. But everything else looks good. The throws look crisp. I imagine yesterday probably helped them a little bit in the sense that they're probably able to get a lot of their practice in yesterday. I'm not sure how far away Utrecht is from here. Maybe some of them got to sleep in their own beds. I don't know if that's a factor, but yeah, like I said, I can't imagine any of the teams from yesterday being able to beat them if they play like this today. And we did see some impressive spells of play by lots of teams yesterday in very tough wind. There was maybe one team at the end of the day, I can't think of the name right now off the top of my head, another Dutch team as well that looked pretty good. I thought maybe they were the favourites, but in these conditions anyway, this has been the most impressive play I've seen. So, cameraman saying he didn't see them at the party, so we're gonna have to dock them. We might have to give the other team a head start depending on what time they went to bed. So if it's 3 a.m., 3-point head start, 4 a.m., 4-point head start. That should be a rule at these kind of tournaments. Maybe whatever time you've still got 7 people at the event, you get that many extra points.
So once again, the men in black find themselves on offense. We see Hansis navigating the traffic, sort of pointing to the open spaces. That is a nice gainer for Emmerich. He's got the upline cut and a lot of contact between the 2 players, fighting for the spot in the dump space, and Tarrant will call an injury, will be replaced by Komans. Let's hope everyone will be okay. It's the one thing you want to make sure you get right. You want to keep your players healthy and bring them all to the actual season peak, which are the Masters Championships in Lund, Sweden, happening later this year. Of course, before that we've got the Under 24s Championship in Logroño, Spain. Plenty of great ultimate coming up this summer, as always. Belgium try to get off the far sideline with a huck, but it's none other than Mawson making sure that the disc lands on the ground, and he picks it up himself to bring it to the front of the end zone. Let's see if he will end up on the receiving end once more.
Yeah, I didn't like seeing him picking up on the handler space. I want to see him downfield again.
A low disc.
Here we go.
And there he is. Can he get there on time? Yes, he can. He's going to go for the big backhand. And that's a shot in the end zone that only he could run down, but not his intended receiver. So despite the layout effort, the disc is in between the goalposts.
Yeah, went a bit too much there for the style points maybe. I thought initially he was just going to throw the flick out to space. He steps back in and throws the more difficult but nicer looking inside backhand. And again, as you said, he would have run that down, probably slowing down to catch it. But for most of his teammates, that's a full sprint layout.
So one more chance for Belgium. Mudioko getting some gainers, thinking about the deep shot. He will have to go through the break side. There aren't that many options right now. Pinkston activating the reset that is not looking at him at all. Damisson goes for the inside flick. It leaves the hand awkwardly but finds the intended receiver. Center to Comans. And the Belgians now knocking on the doorstep. Every point counts, and that is an unfortunate drops for Comans. UFO with a little bit of give and go. That is a hanging disc. That's definitely gonna, yes, finish off with a nice bump. And another score. UFO really now nearing the 15-point hard cap.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a one-sided game really. I thought when I saw this fixture this morning, I was like, this could be a really close game, and just Belgians just unable to get anything really going in this game. I thought early on when they had a good offensive passage of play and they looked really good, I thought that maybe they were going to build on it, but I'm not sure. It was just a one-off, and this UFO defense, they're really pushing the whole way through this. It's not just a case of like, it's funny as well because they look like they're having a lot of fun, but it also just looks like this is just how they play. So really impressive.
In terms of the other quarters, we have Nightwings facing off Rim City and Ars Ludendi Open up against Force Electro 1. We've seen some of these teams on the streams yesterday. The last one is Tribe Ultimate from Ireland and our favorite Dutch team, the Youth of Today, that we're struggling still to pronounce in Dutch, but we...
Yurt.
John likes to call them the Yurt. But if they do get into the later stages of the tournament, we do promise to practice some more.
Yeah, I would say that this UFO team just feels like an older version of the Yurt team maybe, so we're going to have to side with the youth if we end up having an all-Dutch final.
Oh, and a great grab by the Belgian Masters. Soya makes it despite the defensive pressure. You can really see the black jerseys working hard to get open, and We will see if there will be a call. It looks like Vatelet will not make a call, or maybe he will.
I think he was
Difficult to say.
signaling retracted, but I think it's a fair call. I mean,
I think there was probably some type of contact,
Yeah,
and it's difficult to say whether it caused him to drop the disc
It
or not.
doesn't
It
really-
looks like an accepted foul for now.
it's one of those where maybe he could have held on to it anyway, but the fact that the contact is the reason he dropped it, it's fine to give him back. Some people might say, oh, it didn't impact it, but that one definitely did.
Don't know about the tap-in. Probably should have been the UFO defender making the disc alive. And Poach does see the disc on time to smack it into the ground. And Den Breyen gets things going for UFO. Oh, and that is a daring shot to, I am not sure who, but someone will get there on time for UFO. I mean, what? There is a lot of trust in these red jerseys, and we believe it was Leo Pennant with the score there, but unfortunately, like we said, the numbers don't add up on the jerseys, so maybe someone else is getting the shout out. It does not matter. It's a short roster, and they have all been having highlights all game long. So the first game point is coming up for UFO. What do you think, John? Will the Belgian Masters surprise us, or will it be a one-sided affair and UFO will be the first ones on the stream to finish early?
I think I'd like to see if the Belgians could have one more point like they had earlier in the game, because I think it's been a bit of a rough game for them, and obviously they're a team building on something. You'd like to see them coming out of it with some positives, but it's hard to see it. This UFO team is just really pushing the pace, and I think they'd also just kind of like it. Sometimes you just think, hey, let's just get this last one and finish up early, and they might even have time to go and watch some of who they'll be playing in the next game, as it's hard to imagine any of the other games have been this one-sided in the quarterfinals, and it's been a bit unfortunate. We thought earlier today we got our first close stream game, and we thought this one was going to be closer, or close at least, and hasn't been that way.
So the Belgians open up with a white backhand swing. They have to get the reset immediately, though, losing some of those meters again. This is a nice gainer for Taran. Good to see him back on the field. That's a big put in the end zone. The defender's not looking. Yes, the Belgians do make it. There's a collision, but I don't think that could have made any difference in that play, as the receiver had all the space in the world, and I don't think the defender was really prevented by the contact in getting to that disc. So great success for the team in black. They do add one more point to their name, making the scoreboard not look so sad. 14-4 currently the score. Game point number 2 coming up for UFO. I am not sure if they will let this one slip away, but maybe the Masters team will surprise us.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to pronounce the name, but 72 for Belgium there. It's his second. He had a really nice D earlier to try and slow down the momentum, and he reads that one well and runs it down. And like I said, it was good to see the Belgians. I realised maybe the last throw was a bit closer than they would have liked, but they had a good passage of offensive play there, and they're capable of it. I think just in this game they just weren't able to get it going. So again, I think this game bit of a tough result for the Belgians, but also they'll have the footage to look back, and this will be a good game for them to maybe address some of their offensive issues. Although maybe every team they play in Masters won't quite have the same level of defensive speed that this UFO team seems to have.
Here is UFO, game point number 2. Den Breyen passing it down the sideline to Liersch. Around the break side, just about to toe it in. There's a continuation into the end zone, and none other than Aaron Moisen with the last score for UFO. They are in the semis. The game is over. 15-4 is the final score line. We would love to tell you who they're going to face off, but we doubt that all the other quarterfinals were finished this early, and we also don't have any live scoring, so it will be a surprise for us. Do follow the schedule at ULTI.org. You will see the final scores for all the other games that are happening at the moment. Next up at 10:50, we have a Rising game coming up, and we will have a little surprise for you with a very enthusiastic guest commentator that is coming for the first half of the game. It will be Panic Open up against Copenhagen Hucks, so another local affair. Very excited to see how that plays out in the Rising Division. In any case, thank you for joining us in the chat. Thank you for following our streams. We have many more to come today, including the finals. And the weather is looking good, so we should be here all day. My name is Rachel Toshnarova, and I was here with John Doherty, a family affair as well. Thank you for being here, and see you soon. Checking out for now.
Here we go.
This year, London Invite is bigger than ever, with 8 teams in the Open Division, 8 teams in the Women's Division, and for the first time, a full 8-team Mixed Division.
With 5 World Games teams, USA, Canada, Australia, Germany, France.
As well as the Tokai Super Team, is sure to be the ultimate showcase of the best in the world.
More teams, more streams, more stars, more ultimate.
More excitement.
You're not going to want to miss London Invite 2025.
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with ULTI.TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
There's no denying what we want.